Hey loves, my name is Winnie G. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here and if you're returning, then hey girl, how you doing? Today's video is sponsored by Xrsbeauty. They sent me over this full lace unit and you know we had to put some faux locks on it. It comes pre-bleached, pre-plucked. The parting space is amazing. You can do updos, ponytails, literally whatever you want to do with this wig. It's so versatile. They sent me the full lace wig in 20 inches and 150% density. So it's literally perfect for the look that I want to do today. So let's go ahead and get into prepping the wig. It comes with 4 combs on the inside. I only keep the one right in the back just for a little bit more stability. It also has the option to add in an adjustable strap, but we're gonna leave that out today so we have as much parting space as possible. So I went ahead and popped the wig on my wig head, and I'm gonna start off with the first row in the back being faux locks. Now, because we're customizing this wig ourselves, we have a lot of wiggle room. You can have it where it's mostly curls with a few locks, you can have it all locks, or you can have it with a nice little mix of curls and locks, which is what I'm going for. So I parted out a section about 1.5 inches wide at the base of the wig, and I'm gonna go ahead and hot comb that going straight down. And that'll just make sure that the locks lay nice and flat and kind of give a really natural flowy look. I'm splitting this section up into 5 locks. So I'm putting one right in the middle, right on top of where the comb is. And this will help me keep everything on track and make sure that the locks are laying nice and even. So this lock is essentially gonna be like our guide. I'll always know where the middle of the wig sits based on this lock. So it's really, really convenient. Now to get the braided base of the lock, I'm going ahead and sectioning that hair out, and I'm gonna put in a relatively loose braid about halfway down the length of the hair. You don't want the braid to be too tight because we're not doing it on a scalp, so it's never gonna be able to grow out, and you want it to kind of be able to move freely, do ponytails and all of that stuff. So you don't want it to be tight, you know what I mean? And then you won't be able to really like move it around and style it. Just trust me, girl, don't make it too tight. And I braided it about halfway down, and I went in and applied a rubber band to make sure that the braid doesn't slip out. It's easier for me to go ahead and do each step for each row. So I braided all 5 of the braids, and now I'm gonna go in and add the faux lock using some pre-fluffed hair. The link will be down below in the description box if you guys wanna go ahead and pick it up. But you can use any pre-fluffed hair. I'm crocheting the hair about 3 inches through the top, wrapping the shorter side, and then I'm going in and wrapping the longer side over all of that together until I get it down to the length that I want it, and then I just wrap it right back up. I don't use any glue just because you really don't need to with pre-fluffed hair, to be honest. And don't mind my faces, I am definitely binge watching The Walking Dead. I finished most of it and I never really got to the end, so yeah, your girl is binging the show and just taking my time with it. This is the first row completed and it looks so cute. As you can see, we have the curls out on the ends, but in order to get that curled throughout look, I'm gonna go ahead and part out about 1/2 inch section, and this section we're gonna leave completely loose. So essentially we're gonna do a row of locks, a row of curly hair, a row of locks, a row of curly hair, all the way up the unit. And this will give us that bohemian lock look without all the extra work. I completed the second row, and as you can see, it's giving. I put 6 locks on this row, and I kind of split it up starting in the center so you can see we're kind of laying it in a brick pattern. And I'm working my way up the head, nice and slow. Now, once I get towards the top, these locks are gonna be like maneuvered and styled a little bit more. So I have a different technique for this lock. I went ahead and crocheted through 3 inches, wrapped the shorter side, and then wrapped the longer side down and up once I got it to the length that I wanted. But I also take another really slim piece and I do the exact same thing one more time. So essentially we're just double wrapping the locks on top, and what this does is add a little bit more texture. It also adds a little bit more like strength to the lock. so we can make sure that our lock wig lasts. You don't want to have to restyle this. I have lock wigs that I've had for years and they literally never have to get restyled or any of that. Now, if you're wearing her to the bone, baby, you may have to do a couple of tweaks here and there, but I just love how this look is coming together. I went ahead and finished the back and the sides, but I'm going to leave the locks on top to do once I have the actual wig on and I can see exactly how they lay. So in order to prep the wig to put on our head, I'm cutting out the lace around the sides and the back, starting behind the ear tabs and making sure I take it all the way around because it's really hard to put on unless you do this step, and we're about to go ahead and get into this install, honey. So as you can see, the front of the lace is pre-plucked to perfection. I literally didn't have to pluck any hair on this wig. I just had to trim a little bit of hair behind the ear tabs so that it fit really nicely on my head. And once I had that done, I went in with my scissors and cut in a jagged motion across the hairline because I personally like to cut the hairline before I glue my wig down. I think it just looks a little bit more natural to me. And I have a lower hairline in the middle, so I'm going ahead, parting out a section of hair and then just bringing that hairline up just a teensers in the middle so that it fits my natural hairline a little bit better, and she is laid. I'm kind of obsessed with this wig. I worked with XRS wigs before and their hair is always amazing quality, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the install like normal. I sprayed a little bit of my black Eben spray on a plate and then I'm using a brush to apply it in thin sections starting in the middle. I prefer to use this technique when I'm not gonna leave my wigs on for long because I'm not wasting product and it's a little bit of a cleaner install, especially when I got my makeup done, girl. She's a very light beat, but I did not want to mess her up. So I applied that thin layer under, laid the lace down, and now I'm going in with just a little bit more product and I'm kind of tapping the edges of the lace to get it nice and melted before we go ahead and put our wig band on. So now we can go ahead and finish adding the faux locks. Having the wig band on makes it a little bit easier to apply the faux locks as well because I'm a little more comfortable pulling and tugging at the wig without wondering if it's gonna fall off. So she's nice and in place. And I'm using that same technique up the rest of the head. I'm starting off parting out a row about 1 inch to 1.5 inches thick. Then I'm sectioning the hair, braiding it down about halfway, and then we can go ahead and add the lock. So we're crocheting the pre-fluffed hair about 5 inches through, wrapping the shorter side and then wrapping the longer side all the way down and back up until there's literally no more hair to wrap. This first row, I did 2 locks just because I didn't want to overdo it with the locks and make them too small. I wanted them to have, you know, a little thickness to them. I left out a really thin row of just curls and now I'm going in with the second row on this side. This will actually be the last row since we're doing a deep side part. And for this row, I'm going to do 3 locks. I also parted out about 1/2 inch of curls along the hairline for baby hair. So we finished that other side. The part is nice and pressed out. And now this is our last section. So I'm doing it the exact same way. I parted out that little 1/2 inch of edges. As you can see, I kind of have it clipped out of the way. And then the rest of the hair in this row will be put into locks. And I'm just working my way up this section the exact same way as the others. Parting out the edges, sectioning the hair, braiding it down, and then adding the locks. I left out curls right around the part so the top has that big fluffy curly vibe, and right now it's a lot going on. We got clips and stuff everywhere, but just trust me, it comes together in the end. And I added 3 locks in the top section on the right as well. And again, I'm crocheting the hair through, wrapping the shorter side first, wrapping the longer side over, and then working my way back and forth until I have all of the hair completely wrapped. No glue at all. And once I let those curls down, you can see it really adds to that like bohemian lock look, and it just looks so pretty. And now that we have all of our locks in, it's just time to clean everything up. So I'm using my razor comb, trimming the edges and adding some layers along the front, essentially just adding a touch of shape to the hair. I didn't go too crazy with the layers, but I also didn't want to have the curls be super long on the bottom, so I'm just trimming that up. And now we can get into the baby hair. So I'm parting out a little triangle on either side, one right next to the part and one on the other side in the same area. I tweezed it out just a little bit because I like my baby hair to be nice and natural, and then I'm going in with my flat iron and curling it, going straight back before we swoop it so we can get that really nice soft baby hair look. and feel free to go ham with the baby hair. I kind of wanted to go for the exact same style that I wear with my natural hair, and I typically only do one little swoop by the part, so I'm just doing that exact same thing. But if you want to, you can add lots of curls and swirls and really have fun with it. Baby hair are like the finishing touch. They really frame your face. It's like the brows of your hair. They frame your face and give you a more polished look no matter what the style is. So I went ahead and laid the baby hairs down, and now I'm going in with my little wrap band to let those kind of get settled in place while we go ahead and take a little bit more of that foaming mousse and define the curls all throughout the hair. This step really ties everything together. The hair can look really fluffy and full before that, but once you get some product in the hair and the curls are nice and defined, everything really comes together. I'm taking a bobby pin and kind of pinning this top lock in place because I don't want it to move throughout the day. Like, I really want my side part to be set, honey. So I went ahead and pinned that back the way that I want it. I'm taking a little bit of foundation powder in the part just to get everything nice and cleaned up, and this is the finished look. But there are so many styling options with this wig because it's full lace. You can do a full ponytail, you can switch the part. I made the part a little bit deeper on the side, and I really like that. You can do half up, half down. The options are endless with this wig. I hope that you guys really enjoyed today's video. Thanks again to XRS Hair for working with me, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, babes.